of situation.
Isn't it interesting how they said boss babes, etc., but none of them would want to work for a female boss.
Females are very competitive
being a boss
too.
babe and ambitious or whatever. And I'll tell you guys why. I'm going to say the cold hard truth that you guys don't want to admit. Women don't do well when they have power. That's the real reason that you guys don't want to work for a woman, because when a woman has authority and power over you, they're emotionally erratic and not necessarily as stable as a man. And a lot of times, if they don't like you, they're going to personalize it and make your life a living hell. It's like in New York and shit, they probably got fat bitches working there. Hung Nerd goes, debatable. According to Rockefeller culture, looking at history from the 50s and 60s till present time, boss babe culture has made society / quality of life ethically and economically worse in many ways. Okay, so he's saying that women entering the workforce has hurt society. Do you guys agree or disagree?
Could you repeat that?
Okay, what he's saying is that since the 60s, which is when feminism basically started to kind of take heed or become a thing, it's made society and the quality of life worse economically and in many ways. Do you agree or disagree that feminism has hurt society in general? We can start here and then work our way. Yes or no?
I'm not sure.
Bro.
I don't know, like, if I should give a yes or no to that.
I mean, it's very simple. Do you think it's hurt or helped society more?
In your opinion, from what you've seen so far?
Don't think so.
You think it's helped? Okay. What about you?
I think maybe a little bit. So like where men got less masculine in that stance, and like where
a little bit in which way?
Women
Hurt
becoming like big boss ladies and stuff like that. Obviously it's good. You know, you're providing for yourself. I feel like it's hurt men though, in like the way that we like dominate them and they become less masculine.
Okay.
And then that's
so do you think that hurts society and more?
Yes.
Okay.
But where you're wrong is that it's also hurting women too, because women are becoming masculine the same way that men are becoming feminine. Just because you have more power and you're more dominating, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily a good thing. I know that you think that it's equal, but that doesn't mean that it's better just because you're working. It's hurting both genders. It's not just one. Because if men are becoming more feminine, as a result, women are becoming more masculine. And if we're not acting in our natural sense, we're not going to be happy.
Yeah, I agree. But like I said, it is hurting. Like he said, it's a hurting society. I'd say it's just hurting women or like hurting men.
Everyone.
I didn't say it's just hurting men. I said it's hurting society.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
Definitivamente no.
Bruh.
She said definitely not.
Okay, cool. What about you?
Gracias.
What's the question again? I'm sorry. Can you repeat it?
Yeah, do you think feminism has hurt society more or less? Helped or hurt society in general?
I honestly don't think that it hurts society because there is a lot of smart women that can help businesses and stuff like that. So I think
Name
that
one.
a lot of things were created. Businesses?
Yeah, name one smart woman who's helped a business.
Like my friend.
Your friend?
Mhm.
Okay. One that we know of. I don't know your friend.
I know. I don't know. Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian. Okay, so a porn star.
She made one video, man.
Okay, yeah, she was.
I think she made a
but
lot and just didn't
now-
publicize them all.
Yeah, but one went
Oh,
out.
well, I didn't really look.
So the one example of a woman who's smart with business is somebody who got famous and successful taking BBC.
Or Kylie, but that's her sister.
The other one who married a rapper or got a baby with a rapper. And she's piggybacking off of that BBC fame. She's only famous because her sister took BBC.
Pretty much. Shout out to the BBC,
yeah,
man.
You're right. You are right.
Starting careers.
All right. Well, for the rest of you guys, with the raise of hands, do you think feminism has hurt or helped society? Give a raise of hands if you think it's helped society. One. What about you boss babes over here on this side?
They got convinced quick. I think they're just
Why do you
afraid.
think it's helped society? Go ahead.
Because, well, I'd say it's helped, I guess you could say, women's society because they're able to do what they want to do. But then for the men,
There's no woman society. We live in the same place.
I know, but like for
There's
the
no
women,
place with just women.
Okay, so for the women in the
Amazon,
society,
Sneako.
it's helped. But for the men,
What does that mean, woman society?
Not a woman's society, but the women in the society. It has helped the women in the society because they're able to do what they want to do. But
Okay.
then it's harmed the men because
Do you think that
obviously-
freedom has come back and hurt them in a bit in the back end though? That freedom?
Not. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
How?
Let's go through it real quick. If a woman earns money and acquires status, what happens?
She's a boss bitch.
Okay. What do women typically want? They want a guy who makes more money than them and is taller and stronger than them, right?
Yeah.
So if a woman makes more money, she goes up the totem pole, aren't there less men at the top?
Yeah.
So does that mean that she has less options?
Yeah.
So if she has less options, will it be harder for her to find a man?
Might be. But if she is that independent, she doesn't need a man.
But that's the thing. We need each other. There's never going to be a person who doesn't need anybody else. We're always going to want relationships. We're always going to want to procreate. We're always going to want to get married.
So
Are you really advocating towards a society for women where women are just independent and flicking their clits together? You're always going to be wanting a relationship. That's never going to work.
So lo que tú quieres es ser una big boss y quedar sola.
No.
So you want to
porque-
be a big boss and be alone.
No.
That's what they're advocating for when they talk about society for women. All of you have these vibrators and you think that you're happy, but no, you're going to want to have a relationship. It's not about competition. It's not about being a boss.
Es un balance.
We need
It's
each
a
other.
balance.
I need you.
Do you?
Not you, but one of you. Maybe.
Okay, so you guys, I got a question to ask real fast. If you worked at a company, would you prefer to work for a man or a woman?
Man.
A man.
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 Yeah, a man.
Yeah,
All of you would
man.
prefer to work for a man?
Yeah.
All of you? Not one of you would prefer a female?
You don't. Do you?
I feel like I wouldn't mind working for a woman. I feel like it wouldn't matter.
But if you had a choice, between the two genders, what would you prefer?
Girl power.
I like really wouldn't care. So
Come on, man.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one, what would you prefer? Who has a lower likelihood of making your life miserable as an employee?
I guess a man.
Why do you say that?
Well, just because.
I'll come back to you. Why would you prefer to work for a man?
I mean, like, I guess women, I mean, I'm thinking like school teachers, and I've always preferred like male teachers.
Okay. What about
So-
you?
I would say a man because I'm gonna be honest here. We can use our assets to where men like women
Okay.
a lot, and that helps us a lot in the workplace. I would say.
Okay. What about you?
Okay.
Porque las mujeres a veces les incomoda que otra mujer esté triunfando. So,
Yeah,
los hombres no
so-
tienen esa incomodidad.
She speaks too fast. So because women get uncomfortable with other women's success.
Okay.
So with men, they don't have that.
Okay. W Columbia.
What about you?
I would prefer to work for a man. I just think that women are more emotional sometimes, and they put
Yeah.
feelings in front of business most of the time.
All right. What about
Wait,
you?
I thought women were smart and good at business.
Well, there is a lot that are smart
Oh.
and are businesswomen, but I'm saying I would prefer working for a man.
All right. What about you?
Women
Why
do
would
too much.
why would you prefer
Kim
working for a
Kardashian.
man?
To be honest, I don't know. I only have had male bosses, so I don't really know. I don't have anything to compare it to.
All right. And then you, what was your reason?
Kind of going off what she said too.
You've never had a female boss?
No, I have had a female boss, so I would prefer a man only because like
I thought it didn't
It's
matter
easy.
2 minutes ago.
What
It
was wrong with the
didn't.
female boss? Why did you not like her?
she
Yeah.
was just because I had multiple bosses, managers.
Yeah.
The women were tending to be a little bit more meaner.
She was a cunt.
Yeah.
What about you? Why do you prefer to work for a man over a woman?
I think because of mostly protection. I feel like if there were something to happen in my workplace,
Okay.
a female can't protect me like a
Okay.
man could.
Okay.
So,
What about you?
I was gonna say pretty much just what she said. I'd feel more comfortable if there was a situation and the guy was taking care of it. Girls get emotional, freak out, won't want to do it. Call a man, you never know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say basically what she
What about
said.
you?
I just feel like men have that masculinity, and absolutely in situations like that, a woman would not be capable because we would just emotionally freeze in certain things like that. But yeah, I definitely do. I agree with the two girls as well. Is that you feel more safe with a man also for any type of situation.
Isn't it interesting how they said boss babes, etc., but none of them would want to work for a female boss?
todas
And-
esas-
and
females are very
being a
competitive
boss babe and
too.
ambitious or whatever. And I'll tell you guys why. I'm going to say the cold hard truth that you guys don't want to admit. Women don't do well when they have power.
se están
That's the real
contradiciendo.
reason that you guys don't want to work for a woman, because when a woman has authority and power over you, they're emotionally erratic and not necessarily as stable as a man. And a lot of times, if they don't like you, they're going to personalize it and make your life a living hell. Versus a man is a little bit going to be a bit more objective in his leadership role. Versus women are not. And this is why I think, in general, a woman should never have leverage and or power over a man. but it doesn't. And the other thing too is that it's natural for a woman to follow a man in a boss employee type relationship, but it's not natural for a woman to follow another woman a lot of the times.
Yeah, and typically in a work setting, if the woman is the boss and let's say you're a rising star in the company, you're doing well, she's like, you know what? She does too well. She might take my spot. So I want her to stay below me and work for me. So
here's another interesting thing. Let's say you got a group of men, right? And a group of men and a group of women. Let's say there's 10 guys in a room, right? And one of the men in the room is a multimillionaire and everybody else makes $50K per year. Okay? Who is going to be the most respected in that room? Multimillionaire. Fair enough. Now, let's say you take a group of women and put them in a room. One's a multimillionaire, but another one is a model, Victoria's Secret, runway. Okay? Who's going to be the most respected in that room?
The model.
Interesting.
Lastimosamente.
So
because of the status.
So
because how you're saying money doesn't matter. It's the guy that's supposed to provide.
Yeah, but realistically speaking, who are the women going to respect the most or be the most jealous of or whatever? It's going to be the model, correct?
Absolutely.
Because I've always said it, like, no one cares about a successful woman that makes money, realistically speaking. Not even women do. Because if let's say a woman works for a girl, right? We work for a woman and you're putting that boss, she's going to be a bitch to you. That's what I've seen a lot of the time.
Jealousy.
If you have a subordinate and your boss is older than you and she's miserable, she's going to treat the younger woman that's more attractive than her like shit a lot of the times. It just happens because women have this natural tendency to hate women that are prettier than them.
Competition. That's what it really is.
You know, I don't think women don't necessarily get jealous of each other because of success. If you had two options, let's say you were a millionaire but you were ugly or you were pretty and broke, which one would you take?
Pretty and broke.
What?
If you have two choices,
Your face can
pretty
make
and
you
broke
money.
or multimillionaire and ugly as a woman?
Oprah.
Shoot.
Honestly, yeah, pretty and broke.
Pretty and broke.
Pretty and broke. Pretty and broke.
Pretty and broke.
Pretty and broke. Pretty and broke.
Pretty and broke.
Pretty broke.
Pretty broke.
So all of them said, see, isn't this incredible to me? To you guys? Like, hold on, stop the show. What traits do you respect the most in a female? Boss, ambitious, blah, blah, blah. Put the fucking feet to the fire. Would you prefer to work for a woman? No. If you had a choice between being a multimillionaire and ugly or pretty and broke, no, pretty and broke. You guys know deep down in the back of your minds that your beauty is your main agency. It's not your success or your career. You even know it by your own answers. We've caught you guys with so many contradictions. It's crazy.
Gotcha.
What about you guys though?
Can I say something?
Yes, sure.
Thanks.
You had something and then you had something and then you had something. All right, go ahead.
Okay, I agree, but I also think that realistically right now, girls can't completely rely on just being pretty because it's not like the olden days. You can't just go have a man and the man takes care of you forever. Like, it's not always like that anymore. So I think the girl also has to realize she does need to make money. Unfortunately, it does have to be like a boss babe maybe sometimes because you can't just rely on.
Do women have more options now or before?
Can you say that again?
Do women have more dating options now or before? Like you said in the olden days, let's say 1950s.
Before.
Really?
Yeah.
Were dating apps around back then?
Like I'm thinking like a regular.
Think objectively.
No, but I'm like what my thought process is for before is that a lot of men were more masculine.
Oh,
before,
quality options. She's saying.
Yeah, quality options.
Yeah, but realistically speaking, don't you think that you've made up for that with Instagram, dating apps, the internet in general?
Pretty much everybody on dating apps just wants to have sex.
Oh, okay.
Wait, how do you know that?
Maybe they just.
Yeah, tell them how you know.
You said
my
you're a virgin.
My mom.
Okay, so your argument is sorry, you were saying what?
That I think realistically, men can't completely blame women for wanting to be boss babes. I think because you can't really just like rely on being pretty anymore. Like,
I think
because not a lot of men are bosses or anything. They're not a lot of men are successful. In that case,
that's true. But you have the internet to make up for that now.
Like, so you're talking about like OnlyFans?
No. I mean, like
you have access to more of these successful guys.
You have more. Like, even though there's less of them, which I agree with you on, there are less of them. There's less traditional men, but you make up for that with the sheer abundance of men on the internet.
But I would say the men on the internet and men that before times, like what we would go through are more masculine and stuff like that. They're very picky, and it's hard to find a man in that sense.
Well,
yes.
I mean, you have more options though.
But don't forget, if you're the actual prize, so to speak, that he wants to be with, then it's not really that hard because he wants you because you're so different than all the other girls.
But most men like that don't only want one girl.
That's a part of the game.
I mean, I guess if you want to be like
no guy wants just one girl.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
I mean, you even said, I wrote it down. Do you want a guy that's going to be honest when he wants to fuck other girls, that you can have that conversation?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
But now you're saying, oh, they just want to fuck other girls.
He agreed he'd settle for one girl last podcast.
Oh,
He's like,
actually believe that?
he said if he found, I don't believe it, but he said it. I don't believe it, but he said it, pointing it out.
Are you a man of your word?
Bro, come on, man.
Well, okay.
Hey, man.
Okay, so you said your piece. Did you have something and then you had something?
I think what was the question that you asked us? Because I was going to ask it back. I would say.
Shit.
About the model.
Pretty and broke.
Oh yeah, pretty and broke.
Would you want to be ugly and rich or good looking and broke?
Ugly and rich.
Ugly and rich.
Any
Ugly
day.
and-
As a
Shut
man.
the fresh. I'm telling you, man, that works.
Ugly and rich, absolutely, every single day. Because men are not. Remember how all of you said you'd be annoyed by a guy that's a pretty boy that takes a lot of time to get dressed?
Yeah.
You think it's gay?
You think it's gay? My beauty as a man does not go as far as my income and status as a man. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So an extremely rich man is the same as like a very beautiful woman. Functional equivalent.
Yeah.
And we understand that girls a lot of times do need to provide for themselves on the front end, but it goes back to the first question based on respect. That shouldn't be your priority, trying to get respect based on how much you earn and how much you make. Your priority should be keeping your body count low, being feminine, being pretty. And if you are those things, based on how many girls, when we see it in the panel, are girl boss queens, you're going to get scooped up immediately. If you're feminine just like that, like you're like, I'm going to Google translate you right after the show just because of how few there are. It's hard to find those girls now. So you will get scooped up if you keep those things.
It's interesting because their answer is 100% actually, they contradict what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Ladies,
So it's
all
true that a
facts.
lot of girls need to do that, but then don't think that that's how women earn respect, because you all know that that's not what you respect in women.
But
You
I
know
feel
that the
like-
Victoria's Secret model is the alpha female in the room over Hillary Clinton.
Facts.
But I feel like it's a reassuring thing. Like if a girl has a job if a girl doesn't have a job in a relationship and God forbid, like they split up, the woman is left with nothing.
Yeah.
We're supposed to just
Yeah,
sit
but do
here
men
and
actually
wait for
initiate
him?
breakups still, realistically speaking?
I mean,